What's going on, everybody? Off the Mike Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened raw from Madison Square Garden. The closing angle is really what everybody's going to be talking about because holy mackerel, holy fucking shit. In the last 10 minutes of this show, you had CM Punk, you had Cody Rhodes, you had Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, along with Paul Heyman. Then you also had the future of the industry in Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You also had Logan Paul. You had the Usos. Like, holy shit, man. And Drew McIntyre was there too. Like, I just, this men's War Games match, let me say this. The build to this could have been done a lot better. But I mean, yes, you could have tweaked a few things, and obviously, WWE's really just condensed schedule where, they have an event every 3 weeks, and there's really no build to anything, and they kind of just throw things together. The pieces of this have been in motion really since WrestleMania, and really since before WrestleMania, because it really started with the whole triple threat storyline involving CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Obviously, unfortunately, Seth Rollins is not here for this because of an unfortunate injury, and I wish Seth all the best. It really stinks what happened. But even with the wrench that was thrown in there, I think WWE has actually done a pretty damn good job of making a lot of this make sense. And now you have interconnecting storylines, guys with history. Like, I cannot wait to see this men's War Games match play out because the storylines were already there to begin with, but now going into the match, like, think of the interconnecting storylines that we've got here. We've got Cody teaming with Punk. We've got the Usos. We've got Roman Reigns on one team. Like, that is great. Cody's got history with McIntyre. Punk has history with McIntyre. Cody's got history with Brock. CM Punk's got history with Brock. Roman's got history with Brock. Logan Paul's got history with Punk. Logan Paul has got history. Like, the interconnecting, and then obviously the vision being there and, being the future under Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman really the brainchild of this because Paul Heyman literally has history with everybody in this match. It's insane because of the bloodline and because of his history with Punk and, obviously all the interactions he had with Cody Rhodes. Like, I can keep going on for days about the storyline. For God's sake, Punk and McIntyre had one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time last year. One of the great feuds that WWE's done in maybe the last decade. They're in this match together. Like, nobody ever thought about that until we actually put the pieces together and we saw them in the same segment together. But again, the four of your biggest stars are in the same match. You've got Brock Lesnar in a fucking cage, Roman Reigns in a War Games match, which, yeah, say what you will. And he's obviously had the building storyline with the Usos. We don't know where this is going to go. Some people are mad that John Cena is not involved because, John Cena got squashed by Brock Lesnar. And who's to say that John Cena doesn't pull double duty in San Diego? I doubt it's going to happen, but, it would make things a little bit more interesting. But I have been very critical about how WWE has handled these War Games. The women's match in particular, I don't think needs to happen. This is not a sexist thing on my part. I'm not against equality in wrestling. It's just that the women's match feels like it's being forced on us just because they have to do it. If they had a better story and they had their women involved in something that warranted a stipulation like this, and this has happened the last couple of years where you haven't had a building storyline involving, like the previous few years when they started doing this on the main roster, you had Damage Control and people trying to fight against Damage Control. That doesn't exist anymore. So now you're just putting a bunch of different women into a match a couple weeks. And like I said, my biggest problem with this is a newcomer like Lash Legend, who I think the world of, and I think they're doing a great job of making her feel elevated, but she just started teaming with Nia Jax. And Nia Jax, they have manufactured issues with people there. At least with the men's War Games match, you can say, okay, Paul Heyman's got issues with CM Punk. Paul Heyman has got issues with the Usos. Paul Heyman has got issues with Roman Reigns. The Vision has been kind of controlling the narrative since WrestleMania. And obviously, it's unfortunate that Seth Rollins isn't there, but hey, Logan Paul was a natural slide in there. And say what you will about Logan Paul and how much of a jackass he is away from the screen, the guy's good at what he does. Whenever he's in there, he's money. And also, he's teamed with Drew McIntyre. They had an interesting part of this. So I think they've done about as well as they could to build this men's War Games match. And this closing segment was some of the best television that they've done all year. I mean, yeah, you're throwing a bunch of, you're return spamming, for God's sake, and you're aura farming. But, anytime you can have four of your biggest stars show up, because let's think about this. The freaking WrestleMania commercial that they've done, the poker game? The four men in that commercial were the last four men were four of the biggest moments and the four guys who had the biggest interaction near the end of this segment. You had Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. And three of those men are going to be on the same fucking team. Three of those men are going to be on the same fucking team. How are those egos going to get along? Like, this is a fascinating dynamic that I cannot wait to see how they have this play out in a match. It's going to be one of the most interesting War Games matches that they've ever done. Could they have built to it better? Sure. But there's already a lot of bits of story that are already into this match, and I can't wait to see it. It's one of the main reasons why this show is actually going to be, they're going to have to do a lot to live up to the hype, but I'm already hyped up to see this, man. This is genuinely going to be very interesting. And there still is the outside possibility that John Cena might get into this match. I doubt it, but there still is the element there. I'm glad that they went this route, because I know a lot of people are mad. Because frankly, Jimmy Uso does deserve to be in the spot. Like, the guy, for God's sake, I think the guy had I think he screwed up a toe or something, or screwed up something last year in the last jumping off of the cage. Bronson Reed. We'll hope Bronson Reed doesn't break his foot like he did last year. So like I said, there's a lot of things here that make it really interesting. You're going to do it in a baseball stadium. Obviously, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns' involvement in this match are going to sell a whole bunch of tickets. They already sold 30,000 tickets. So, man, like I said, there was a lot of things that happened on this show that were really genuinely exciting. But the end of this show was just fucking epic television and quintessential great pro wrestling. So good on WWE. I wish they would do this more often. I wish they would capitalize and actually tell stories. But really, they're all about just spamming returns and, making viral moments, which, we'll have some other things that we need to talk about moving forward. But we'll have a preview of this. Obviously, we're going to have, big couple of weeks of wrestling. You'll have Full Gear this coming weekend, and then obviously War Games. And then a couple weeks after that, hey, you're going to have Saturday night's main event and John Cena's last match. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.